Hey everybody, welcome to Season 3 of Fun on Holiday, our third year living aboard our Tartan 37 sailboat, Holiday. If you've watched the first two seasons, you've seen us start our lives as cruisers, spend our first two winters in the beautiful Florida Keys, spend our first spring cruising the Bahamas, and then most recently, visiting most every city along the eastern coast on the Atlantic ICW, and then into and all over the Chesapeake, where we stopped in Annapolis for the last couple of months to hide out for hurricane season, which brings us to right now as we are heading out of Lake Ogleton to make our way south. You see, it was hot as Hades right up until Hurricane Michael went through, then the next day it was freezing. With thoughts of warm beaches in the Bahamas on our minds, we wrapped up our final boat projects and headed south at the first time that the weather would allow.
So we're sailing today from Lake Ogleton, and we're gonna at least go to Solomon's Island. We hadn't decided yet. We could go further. It's turned cold, obviously. We're all bundled up, and we're trying to get south. So
all stations, this is United States Coast Guard,
with the new sails on, we're going really fast. We've been doing like over 8 knots sometimes, definitely between 6 and 7 knots most of the time. So the sails are doing really, really well. It's a pretty day. It's also pretty cold. We'll just see how the day goes. So it's about 4:30, and we're going past the entrance to Solomon's Island. We've decided to take advantage of the nice weather, since it's only going to get colder, and just sail overnight all the way to Norfolk. We're still making, 3 to 4 knots. We'll just push on, watch a beautiful sunset. It's a clear night, so should see lots of stars. And I don't know, it's supposed to dip down into the 40s though, so we'll get bundled up. It's really calm sailing conditions. Lindy's thinking about cooking, and I think she's gonna make white chicken chili. You starting to get out the ingredients, Lindy?
I am.
All right.
But right now I'm cutting up the chicken. I'm going to get it in the pot to cook first. And I've got the stove gimbaled, so if we heel over, it won't come crashing down. And that's it. I've got carrots, celery, and onions. I'm just gonna put this all into the pan. And I'm gonna add in my peppers and garlic. Add a little garlic powder with some cumin, some chili powder, ground chipotle powder, and we'll stir that in. Now it's smelling good. So I've got whole kernel corn, and I've got a can of cannellini beans, a can of diced green chilies. Okay, so I added 4 cups of water, and now I'm going to add my better than bouillon chicken base, just to season it up a little bit. And then we're just going to let that simmer.
All right, sun's getting pretty low. I've been experimenting with wing on wing. As you see, it works some of the time, but the wind's kind of shifty. I'm sure as soon as that sun goes down, it'll chili off a lot. But luckily we've got chili coming to make us warm.
White chicken chili.
It's a big old tug and barge going by us now. We're getting bundled up. It's pretty out here. Moving right along. It's dinner time on holiday. Lindy, how's that white chicken chili you made?
It's good.
Mm-hmm. And nice and warm. So I'm on the first watch, and that'll go 3 or 4 hours until either I get sleepy or Lindy wakes back up, and then we'll swap. And it's beautiful out tonight. We've got like 7 knots apparent aft of the beam. We're moving along at 3.5 knots. We're expecting the wind to die overnight, so I know I'm going to have to turn on the motor after midnight or so. But we're not in a hurry because we don't want to get to Hampton Roads before daylight. So here's the look of the water out ahead of us. We got a little bit bigger than a half moon shining bright ahead, lighting the way. It's really pretty. It's getting close to midnight now. Lindy's done taking her rest, and she's out here. You ready for your watch?
Yep.
All right. But I'll come down here and get me a comfy spot and take a nap.
So it's almost 2 a.m. The moon's getting low. It's really pretty. It's turning kind of golden as it gets lower in the sky. Not much going on. Had a fishing boat come by me, and I think there's some more back here. They're from Reedville, where they fish for the Menhaven and make it into fish oil tablets.
So I'm back on watch now. It's 4 a.m. We've been underway 17 hours now. The moon's gone down, and you can see lots of stars in the sky. It's a pretty passage. So it's pretty busy in here this morning, coming through Hampton Roads into Norfolk. This giant container ship is turning right in here behind us and probably going to go right by us. So we're going to try to stay out of the channel and hopefully not be too close to him. What a way to start the season heading south. A little 27-hour overnight passage from Annapolis to Norfolk. Back at mile marker 0, the start of the ICW. Here we are. After a night at Anchorage at the Hospital Point, and decided, hey, let's get on further south. There's some really strong winds coming tonight into tomorrow, and they're lighter the further south we get. Lindy will be researching anchorages and bridges and locks and everything as we go, figure out where we're going to go.
Soon we passed the division of the ICW where we had arrived from the Dismal Swamp on our way north. This time we took the Virginia Cut route and headed for the Great Bridge Lock.
Got Lindy up here. Here's the other boats. All right, it was just a few feet, so we barely knew it happened, and now we're off. Everybody's letting loose their lines and kind of getting in line here.
Now we're waiting on the bridge. Here it goes. About 10 or 11 boats here waiting. All sailboats of some sort.
We were back on the ICW, which often means motoring all day long, albeit through some beautiful areas. Unlike our trip north, where we didn't often see many boats, we were in a large procession of boats heading south, fleeing from the cold.
Probably under an hour away from Coinjock. What do you think, Lindy? So we got tied up here to the dock, although we aren't tied up to the dock. We're tied up to Juneau here because we had to wait for what they told us was a 100-foot ferry to come in that needed to fuel up. So Holiday's slip is going to be right there, but only after this guy gets done fueling. Wow.
Can you see that bell like covering?
I'm glad we put out lots of fenders here.
Right down the middle.
I don't think a boat hook would do much good in this situation. So we'll
This
just...
guy's like watching us like they all got their cameras out.
When they're at that end.
Yeah, it's not us, right?
Huh? Yeah, like a glove. So the giant boat got its fuel, which took, I don't know, most of an hour. It was 1,000 gallons of diesel. And they're about to start dropping lines. They're about, I'd say 12 feet away from us, wouldn't you say? Maybe less than that. Perfect. Look at how fast it's moving, and it accelerates in reverse. Wow. All right, we stayed an extra day in Coinjock while the wind blew hard, and now it's freezing cold, and we're off to cross the Albemarle Sound and the Alligator River. We're gonna start taking off the dock lines here in a second and get going. Lots of other boats are leaving as we speak. Coinjock was a nice marina. Wow, all the boats are gone. We're like the late people.
We headed off from Coinjock, not knowing how far we would go, just knowing that we wanted to get as far south as possible.
Lindy just checked the weather, 38 degrees this morning.
It was cold, but it was a beautiful, misty North Carolina morning.
All right, so we've entered the Albemarle Sound here. Should take us a couple of hours to get across. very light winds today, so we're motor sailing. Here we go. Should be pretty easy. How you doing, Lindy?
Hey, good.
Awesome. It's warming up quite nicely into a beautiful day. And now we're just sitting here waiting for the Alligator River Bridge to open. Lindy's downstairs getting our pita pockets ready for lunch. Looking yummy. We're just motoring down the Alligator River. So these fighter jets have been flying over us one after the other, doing different maneuvers. It's our own private Alligator River air show. I think there's 4 of them, so this will be the last guy here. And we were thinking we might anchor here this evening, but being that it's cold and we want to get south as quickly as possible, we're going to keep going. And so we've got to go through this 20-mile long Alligator River, Pungo River Canal, and then there'll be an anchorage right on the other side of it that we should get to just about sunset.
The Alligator River Pungo River Canal is a long, straight waterway, but it looked like we'd have a good sunset, and we knew we were having a full moonrise too.
Been a little slow going through the Pungo River, Alligator River Canal. We don't have too much more to go. It's going to be a pretty sunset, and we should have probably about 20 or 30 minutes after the sunset to get to our anchorage. We're just starting to bundle up because it's getting cold again. Hopefully not as cold as it got last night, but once we get anchored, it'll be real nice just to chill out for a while. Wow, a baby deer walking with its mom right there in the water at the edge of the river. How cool is that? We made it. That was about a 12-hour plus day. And Lindy is working on some special ramen soup for us. And I'm really excited about eating it. And then we're just going to relax and go to bed. Woo, nice day. So we've left early in the morning again. It's a little warmer this morning than it was yesterday morning, but not too much. And we're going down the Pungo River. We got a little bit of an earlier start today. Yesterday we were about the last boat to leave. Today we're in the middle of the procession. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boats ahead of us. We're boat number 11. There's 12, 13, 14, 15 boats. All just scooting along. We see some sails up here when we turn the corner, so looks like we'll at least get to do some motor sailing in a second. There's the Pamlico Sound out there on our way up. That's where we came from when we went to Ocracoke on the Outer Banks, out there further than you can see. But today we're going to stay on the ICW and go across the Pamlico River.
We continued to cross the Pamlico River, then up the Neuse River, where we anchored at Cedar Creek. We were up and off again the next morning with no destination planned, just wanting to get as far south as possible.
Here in Morehead City, doing a little motor sailing with Captain Zach at the helm, and there goes the heel.
It was another cold day with brisk winds near the nose. We passed by Beaufort, Morehead City, and then entered the Camp Lejeune area where the Marine base is. They have a bunch of Osprey airplane there that can take off and land vertically.
So we're here at Mile Hammock Bay at Camp Lejeune. Lindy's down here making some beef stroganoff.
Yeah.
And we watched the Marines going out earlier, and I'm pretty sure these are going to be craft that just drive straight out of the water onto the land. It was a boat. Now it's a truck. Oh, there he goes. That's awesome. Mile Hammock Bay. Always something going on. Man, that smells so good, Lindy.
It's just beef and onions and garlic, as per the usual. As soon as you start cooking onions and garlic, Zach comes running.
Ooh, and there's the mushrooms about to go in. Exciting.
Believe me when I say that beef stroganoff was delicious. Check back soon for our next adventure, where we continue hustling on south to the Jacksonville, Florida area, including an offshore passage from Georgetown, South Carolina, all the way to the Savannah River. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed our video, make sure to subscribe to our channel.